Hi, it's Emma Jane, aka Emma Jane Reads, and today is the first day of the 2024 Decatur Children's and Young Adult Book Festival. I am so excited to go, and before I went, I wanted to run through the schedule for today just to give you all some context. So I've got the schedule pulled up, and we'll just start with the first event. The first one is at 9 a.m., which is quite early, but I'm still very excited. It is Blood at the Root with LaDarrion Williams. I'm super excited for this one. It's described in the schedule as Hogwarts meets HBCUs, delightful. And then I looked on the Goodreads page and people were sort of comparing it to Legendborn, which is a beloved book of mine, so I'm very excited for this first event. The second event is called Blank Space, Fantasy Worldbuilding, and YA Lit. This one I'm really excited for because one of the authors is F.T. Lukens. And I am a major F.T. Lukens fan. I have read all of the books. I own most of them. So I'm going to bring at least 2 of these to try and get signed and potentially buy the one physical copy that I'm missing. Very excited for that. Very excited to hear them talk. And then there are also a few other authors in this talk. Terry J. Benton-Walker, who wrote Blood Debts. If you've read that, I've heard really great things but have yet to read it, so maybe I'll also pick up a copy of that. I need to keep myself on a budget because I'm also going to Sunday, so we'll see what I actually end up buying, but I'm very intrigued by that. We are probably going to skip the next talk. It's called Hope is the Thing with Feathers. We're probably going to take a lunch break during that one just so we're not going all the way through, but it does still sound interesting. And then the last talk today is called Not Your Mom's Rom-Com. Very cutie. The moderator is Kelly Quindlen, who wrote She Drives Me Crazy. I have read that one. I did enjoy it, so I'm sort of excited to hear her talk. It also has Julian Winters, Christen, Randall, and Jennifer Dugan, as well as Nashae Jones. So lots of fun things. I don't know if I'll pick up any books at this one just because I'm in my fantasy era, but I'm still excited to hear them talk, and the friend who's coming with me does read rom-coms, so I think this is a really fun schedule for today. We'll see how it goes. The Decatur Arts Festival is also this weekend, so quite the packed schedule. If we ever get bored, we can go run and check out some of the vendors for that. But yes, overall, very excited, and I will cut to some clips of the festival. We're back. We have attended the first day of the Decatur Children's and Young Adult Book Festival, and I have the first haul. So starting just chronologically in the order we talked about earlier, the 9 a.m. book signing for Blood in the Root. This so intrigued me. The author talked about the magic system in a way that just caught my eye. I had to have it. I was really intrigued. And then the author also discussed that he had originally made this as like a pilot short film because he wanted to turn it into a TV show. And when that didn't pan out, he just loved these characters in this story so much that he turned it into a novel, and it will be the first in a series, which I just thought was so delightful and showed such love for these characters in the story that I had to get a copy. Then the next signing event was the fantasy world building panel. So I did get all 3 of the F.T. Lukens books that I brought to the panel signed, which was delightful. F.T. was so kind and so wonderful and signed all 3 of them, even though I did not buy a copy at the event. So big shout out there. I'm so happy about these, so excited. And then during that panel, I also listened to Terry J. Benton-Walker talk about Blood Debts. And I had to have it. Listening to him talk about this book made me viscerally need it. So I also got this book, and this one is signed, so is Blood at the Root. And then the third panel we attended was a rom-com panel, which is not my vibe, but like The moderator of this panel was the author of She Drives Me Crazy, and she was fantastic. Truly, like, one of the best panel moderators I've ever seen. And I've gone to, like, a lot of book signings and book festivals because they make me happy. And the moderation on this panel was truly fantastic. It was really enjoyable for me, even as someone who does not read a lot of contemporary or, like, rom-com books. I still had a wonderful time and feel like I got a lot out of it. So that was really delightful. It almost talked me into buying a rom-com for once. I almost did it. But considering I already bought other stuff, I did show a little bit of constraint. So now, to have a little chat about the rom-com panel with somebody who does like a rom-com, I'm going to drag my friend Kylie in here to help me talk about it. And this is my illustrious friend Kylie, who does like a rom-com. So she's going to give us her thoughts on the book she got in the rom-com panel.
I loved the rom-com panel. I wasn't supposed to buy anything, and then the more that I heard from the authors, I was tempted to buy a lot of them, but I didn't. I had read She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quindlen, and then she had a book that I had on my Goodreads for a long time that I've never actually gotten around to reading, and she led the panel wonderfully, so as a treat, I was like, I have to buy her book, which is Late to the Party. I got it signed. It sounds wonderful. I'm very excited to read this. And then I was tempted by, there is one, do you remember the one about the baseball players? Do you know what it's called?
Oh, don't
no.
ask me that.
But it was really well, like, moderated. It was really well done. They had a lot of books in there that I'm probably honestly going to end up buying later on anyways. Yes. But I'm very excited about this one.
Mm-hmm. I will insert the names of the books that we are both too tired to remember right now because...
For the life of me, I couldn't.
Yeah, that first panel was at 9, and it's quite a bit of a drive, so we're running on no sleep. But we had a wonderful time, even if we are currently blanking on book names. And then after that, we had a quick little run to Half Price Books in Decatur, because it's right nearby. And Kylie got The Bear and the Nightingale. That's a very good book. I have read it.
It's a recommendation from her, actually.
I am a girl who likes that. And then I got 4 little YA fantasy moments after I literally said I was in my adult fantasy era, but I bought 4 more YA books. I have The Taking of Jake Livingston, and then Lost in the Neverwoods, because I love the Sunbearer Trials and Cemetery Boys, so I had to give another Aidan Thomas book. And then Godly Heathens. The description of this just sounded wonderful, and it takes place in Georgia, so we love a local connection. And then The Lost Dreamer. This cover is gorgeous, the description sounded great, and again, Half Price Books. I love a deal. So that's why
that was $3.
Yeah, The Taking of Jake Livingston was $3. I had to have it. So that's our haul, and we will check back in before tomorrow's second day of fun.
Maybe a little less tired.
Maybe a little less tired. We'll see. All right. Bye.
Author's note, it was Playing for Keeps. That's the book I'm going to get later. The author was really sweet. I think her name is Jennifer.
Yes.
Something.
Her last name started with a D. I'll include all of this so you can actually look at it.
It'll be on there. It was important to know we remember. It's Playing for Keeps. Yeah, it sounds lovely.
There was also another one about, like, Dungeons and Dragons that also sounded delightful.
The no girlfriend code.
The no girlfriend rule.
No girlfriend rule,
That's
yes.
It. That one also sounded fantastic, and that is the one that I almost bought. But again, I'm a girly who can buy a rom-com, but not a girly who can read a rom-com. Okay, we'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's day 2 of the book festival. Once again, very excited. And I also wanted to give you the overview again, just so you know what was going on. So starting at 10 a.m. is a panel called Oh the Horror. And I am a YA horror girly, so I'm really excited for this one. But I'm going to read off the authors on this panel. Excuse the fact that this is glaring on me. So starting with Desiree Evans, who wrote The Black Girl Survives in this one, Samantha Mabry, Clever Creatures of the Night, and Trang Tan Tran, who wrote She Is a Haunting. And this book I really like. It's like a sapphic YA horror novel set in Vietnam, and I already do have a signed copy of this one. So I'm probably not going to stand in the signing line for this one, especially as the friends who are coming with me today are not big horror girlies, but have agreed to sit in the panel with me. So that's the first panel. The next panels we're probably going to skip and walk around the arts festival, just because that sounds fun, and these aren't exactly our favorite subgenres, but they do still sound fun. There is This Book Won't Burn with Samira Ahmed, Nothing Is But What Is Not, speculative YA fiction. This one has Marco Shiro in it, which did sort of pique my interest, but I don't know that we're going to go to this just because it's sort of around lunchtime. Gonna Die in This Small Town is at 1 p.m., which is sort of like a double murder, a disappearance, a deadly game, and something is trapping these main characters in each of their small towns, which does sound fun. So we may or may not go to this one. The next one we are almost positive we're going to is Oh When She's Angry. This one is at 2 p.m. and it has Rachel Allen, Joan He, and Zohanna Makuta. And the moderator is Gilly Segal. All of these are really interesting to me. The author of Sound the Gong, that's a book. The first one is Strike the Zither, and I've heard really great things about that one, but the person I'm really excited with is the author of Gearbreakers. That is a book that has been on my TBR for so long, and I have just never been able to find a book at like a used bookstore or anywhere other than like Barnes & Noble or Amazon, and I'm a girly who likes to buy her books secondhand because they get really expensive. So I'm like, maybe today's the day. Maybe today is the day I finally buy Gearbreakers and I'll get it signed. So this panel I'm almost certainly going to. I'm probably going to buy 1 or 2 books from this one. And then the big main event is at 3 p.m. It is Letters of Enchantment with Rebecca Ross. I love Rebecca Ross. I've met her before, and so she's actually already signed most of my Rebecca Ross books, but I have a few that I was not able to bring last time because they did not fit in the tote bag. So I do have 3 that are unsigned. So I'm trying to decide how many of these I actually want to carry around, because like these 2 are pretty thick hardcovers. This is going to make my backpack really heavy and also limit the room I have to buy more books. So I'll probably bring either 2 or 3 of these depending on how heavy my backpack ends up being. And I'm just really excited. I really like Rebecca Ross. One of my other friends is probably going to come for this one as well. So I think it's going to be a really great time. I'm really excited for today. I will now cut to the B-roll of how it's going. Also, side note, my copy of Blood at the Root, when I went to get it signed, I was looking at it last night and I realized that it was made out to Emma Stone. So I guess I'm Emma Stone now. Don't really know how that one happened. They like put a little sticky note with your name with the correct spelling on this page. So the author can just like copy it. So don't really know how I ended up being Emma Stone. But I guess this is Emma Stone Reviews now. Okay, yeah, anyway. It's time to do the Day 2 Book Festival recap. So once again, I'll just go through everything I did today and show you what I got. So starting with the 10 a.m. panel, which was Oh the Horror. As discussed, I love She Is a Haunting, and I already have a signed copy, so I sort of just went to listen and enjoy myself. And afterward, I went to go have a little chat with the author, tell her how much I loved her book, and she ended up giving me this lovely little art print of art from She Is a Haunting, and she was so nice and lovely, and so I just had a wonderful time in that panel. After that, we went, got some breakfast sandwiches, walked around, and then came back for the 2 o'clock panel, which was like a female rage anti-hero panel, which was so fun. All 3 of the authors who were talking about their books really had me intrigued. I'd only heard of 2 of them, but they all enticed me. But I decided I was gonna be good today because I bought 6 books yesterday, and I literally just said I was trying to be in my like adult fantasy only buying used books era. So I restrained myself to 1, and it was Gearbreakers. Really excited for this. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I was like, today's the day. The author is here. Let's get it signed and just get the book and enjoy yourself. So I got the book, and she gave some lovely little freebies, bookmarks, art, very cute, and then signed my book and drew me a little robot, which is so cute. So really enjoyed that. And then right after that, like while I was still in the signing line for Gearbreakers, everyone started coming in for the Rebecca Ross panel. So I ended up only bringing 2 of my remaining non-signed Rebecca Ross books just because I didn't want to lug 3 hardcovers around all day. And it was delightful. Rebecca Ross was, of course, in her usual form, absolutely fabulous in both the talk and how nice she was in the signing line. I know whenever I talk to these people, I get starstruck and I just start blabbering like word vomit and try to knock together two brain cells to sound coherent, and I never do. And she was just so lovely and so nice, and did sign both the books I brought, personalized them for me. It was really lovely. I had a great time. The one thing was, though, that a lot of people showed up with like 8 Rebecca Ross books and were like asking for all 8 of them to be personalized. There were like 40 people behind them, and I was just like, free will, do what you wish. But like, if you have that many, maybe you stay in the back of the line, at least, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me being nitpicky, but that's like a lot of books for one signing. But to each their own. I had a lovely time anyway, and the line moved pretty quickly. It wasn't that big a deal. And I don't know, I just had a really great time this weekend. The book festival was lovely. This was the first time that Little Shop of Stories, the independent bookstore that put on this festival, hosted it. And it was really delightful. I hope they do it again next year. And of course, continue to support your independent bookstores and all the ways that they give back to your local communities. You know, I love Little Shop and all they do, all the events they put on, all the lovely good they do in the world. So just remember to support your local independent bookstore. I thought before I go, maybe it might help to just do a brief overview of everything I've gotten this weekend, because it was a lot, and so we'll just do one final review of everything I got. So starting with Saturday, I got this copy of Blood at the Root that does say that my name is Emma Stone, but I guess I'm an actress, you know? We'll see how this is. I got that. I then got my 3 F.T. Lukens books signed. Delightful. So lovely. Hold on. And a bookmark. Very cutie. F.T. Lukens also gave out Otherworldly pins, which was so adorable. Love. So that was delightful. And then also Saturday was when I bought Blood Debts. Also got this signed and got fun little pieces of art prints to go with it and a bookmark. So lovely. And then the end of Saturday was my Half Price Books haul. These a little less exciting, not signed, but a copy of Aidan Thomas' Lost in the Never Woods, Godly Heathens, The Taking of Jake Livingston, and The Lost Dreamers. Very cutie. And then my Sunday recap. Oh, I also got this little pin on Saturday. One of the children's book vendors outside just gave it to me for free, and it's so cute, a little cat pin. But my Sunday haul, brief recap: Gear Breakers, the art that went with Gear Breakers, and then getting these 2 Rebecca Ross books signed. All in all, a very delightful weekend, and I hope you have a lovely week as well. Bye!